All right, welcome back to the new SEC podcast. We're talking one of the many ranked games that we have this week. Number 10, LSU is traveling to number 17, Vanderbilt. They'll be playing in Nashville at noon. The game is going to be on ABC. And to some, maybe surprise, Vanderbilt is favored in this game, 2.5 points. Really just an even matchup. The line really represents the home field advantage. If you're into betting, follow Vegas is kind of how that works. Home field accounts for about 3 points. It's a pretty good matchup. When looking at how these teams have played up to this point, they both had pretty good seasons so far. They're both at 5-1. The SEC is still really wide open as far as who has a shot to win it. It's going to be a big roundabout at the end. But looking at this game in particular, what needs to happen for LSU or Vanderbilt to win the game? Really on LSU's side here, if we get the Garrett Nussmeier that we expected going into the season, the one that we were touted over the offseason that was going to be one of the top NFL prospects. He has that talent. It just hasn't come into fruition. But if we get that version of Garrett Nussmeier in this game, I don't think it's that close. Vanderbilt defense right now, they're getting dotted up a little bit. They're 122nd in the nation in opponent completion percentage, over 68%. We saw that against Alabama. Even really Utah State. Teams are able to pass on this Vanderbilt defense. That's, what LSU has chosen to do at this point. 57% of their plays have been pass plays. That's the most in the SEC. Last year was 60, which was astronomical. But we saw how that left LSU at the end of the season. They were kind of one-dimensional. That's what we're seeing this year. It works if it works, but right now LSU is a little bit out of step with the wide receivers. They have great weapons. They have a really talented quarterback. It just feels like there's some missteps, plays thrown into coverage, sometimes double or triple, high passes that require really top-notch wide receiver play to make those plays. And the running hasn't been there. Last week was really LSU's first really good running game. And I hope that they bring that into this game as an improvement to add a little bit of variety, take some of that pressure off of Nussmeier in this one. So if he brings what he's got, I like LSU in this game. I really do. I think that he has the ability to do it. And I think this Vanderbilt defense is a good one to do it against. Ole Miss, a little bit tougher defensively. Vanderbilt now, you're going to have a little bit of an opportunity. Let's look at Vanderbilt really quick. What does Vanderbilt do well? They challenge teams' play awareness. You have Diego Pavia, 22 first downs right now with just his legs. He's a little bit shifty. They make things happen. They have a great tight end. They have some good weapons, running back, receiver as well. They're shifty. They get you off your game. They, especially early in the Alabama game, we saw that with Vanderbilt in being able to break things loose, 4 touchdowns for long plays, just because, the shovel pass, you're not expecting it, certain misdirections. How that matches up with this LSU team now. You have 2 great linebackers that are great at finding the run stop, and that's in Harold Perkins Jr., West Weeks. Alone, they've accounted for 31 run game tackles, 19 run stops. They really aren't missing many tackles either. So to me, looking at what Vanderbilt is going to have to get this team off of is their play recognition. They're going to find the ball. They're going to hawk it down. How does the misdirection come into this game? Now, LSU DBs, I think they do that great. Play recognition, even in one-on-one coverage, if they find themselves in that, I do like them to match up well. Except for one position. Eli Stowers, tight end, maybe one of the best tight ends in the country. He's the best weapon on Vanderbilt. He's the best player, I think, on their team. He has been able to get to work in some games, not so much in others. There's room for a tight end to work against LSU. We saw it with Daquan Wright in the loss to Ole Miss. And Eli Stowers, that connection he has with Diego Pavia, the offensive coordinator as well. There's some good opportunity for him to get going in this game, put some points on the board, especially early on before LSU starts to make those adjustments that we've seen other teams make against Vanderbilt. So big matchup for the SEC. Like I said, 2.5 point favorites for Vanderbilt. Let's talk a little bit about keys in this game. Vanderbilt right now, the key to me, I just talked about it, is use Eli Stowers. When he's performed poorly, they lost the game. He didn't play well in their only loss on this season. He's arguably your best player. Get him going. Defensively for Vanderbilt, the key, I'm not going to worry too much about the run for LSU. That's no shade to Caden Durham. That's no shade to what this LSU team can do on the ground. It's more about let's focus on taking away the weapons. They love to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. They're throwing a screen on 18% of dropbacks, LSU is. Let's take that away, focus on the short pass, the conservative plays, the confidence builders, the high percentage throws that they're going to let Garrett Nussmeier build his confidence with on the LSU play calling side. Let's focus on that and hopefully set them up in second and longs, third and longs. I'm not as focused on the run. I think that if LSU brings that adds to their arsenal. We just haven't seen it consistently yet. From the LSU side, key to the game comes down to better reads from Nussmeier. Honestly, better sync with the receivers. I believe in the defense for LSU, undoubtedly. I'm looking at things here that maybe Vanderbilt could do to challenge that defense. Love the defensive backs. Love the linebacker play from LSU. I believe that they can do what they need to do in this game, that as long as LSU can put up 17 points, they win. That's where I sit in this game. I think, LSU in this one, they're not favored. They're playing from a little bit of an underdog position where people aren't believing in them just because of what they were expecting coming into the season. They haven't looked super, super strong at any point in the year offensively. This could be a good bounce back game for them. Like I mentioned, getting the running game going last week. I like LSU in this game, 23-17. Continues to shake up the SEC. We start seeing a lot of these, one-loss teams here. If you're an LSU fan, if you're a Vanderbilt fan watching this, let us know what you think. Do you think Vanderbilt should be favored in this game? Do you think that they do have a shot to win this and continue to rise the ranks of the AP Top 25? Or do you think LSU's got this? Do you think that they start to bounce back a little bit offensively? It's hard to throw shade on a team that's winning a lot of their games, but from the eye test standpoint, it's clear to see that some things aren't going 100% their way. As always, we really appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe button so you get more content around SEC football, your two favorite teams here, or if you're just looking for betting insight. As always, I'm Hunter Zeisman here with the new SEC podcast. We'll catch you in the next one.